A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant move to bolster Ukraine's defense against ongoing Russian aggression, European countries have announced a combined purchase of $1 billion worth of U.S. weapons. The Netherlands, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark made this announcement on Tuesday, marking the first major action under the newly established Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List, PEARL, a mechanism designed to streamline military support for Ukraine. This initiative was launched last month by U.S. President Trump and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, with expectations of further support to follow as the situation in Ukraine remains dire. The Dutch government is set to contribute approximately 500 million euros, around $577 million, towards this military aid, while the three Scandinavian nations will collectively donate an additional $500 million. The urgency behind this decision stems from the increasing military pressure Ukraine has faced from Russia in recent months, leading to calls for enhanced support from European allies. Dutch Defense Minister Ruben Brekelmans took to social media platform X to emphasize the importance of this initiative. He described the near-daily Russian airstrikes as pure terror and warned that Moscow's advances could pose a broader threat to Europe. Brekelmans stated, "By supporting Ukraine with determination, we are increasing the pressure on Russia to negotiate, underscoring the interconnectedness of security between Ukraine and NATO member states." Swedish Defense Minister Pål Jonson echoed these sentiments during a press conference, highlighting that Ukraine is not just fighting for its own sovereignty, but also for the security of Europe. Sweden's contribution to this initiative amounts to $275 million, which will include essential military support such as air defense systems and anti-tank weaponry. The Dutch package specifically includes parts for the U.S. Patriot missile system, which is critical for Ukraine's defense against aerial attacks. The Swedish government has also confirmed that its support will encompass munitions for the Patriot systems, along with ammunition and spare parts necessary for the ongoing conflict. This coordinated effort reflects a growing commitment among NATO allies to ensure that Ukraine has the resources needed to defend itself effectively. The U.S. is facilitating this process by releasing weapons and military hardware from its stockpiles in increments of $500 million under the PEARL mechanism. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed gratitude for the assistance, describing it as a very strong initiative that significantly boosts our ability to protect lives. Zelensky further stated that these steps create a new foundation for long-term security across Europe, asserting that Russia will never turn Europe into a continent of war. In a recent conversation with President Trump, Zelensky discussed sanctions against Russia and potential bilateral defense cooperation, signaling a renewed focus on U.S.-Ukraine relations. The NATO Secretary General commended the Netherlands for being the first country to announce funding under the new scheme and praised the swift action taken by the Scandinavian countries. He stated, "Since the earliest days of Russia's full-scale invasion, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden have been steadfast in their support for Ukraine. I commend these allies for their quick efforts to get this initiative off the ground." The backdrop to this military support is the ongoing conflict that has escalated significantly since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The roots of this conflict are complex, reflecting a broader shift in the global order and the geopolitical landscape of Europe. The situation in Ukraine has prompted many European nations to reassess their defense strategies and commitments to NATO. As the conflict continues, the need for international solidarity and support for Ukraine remains critical. The commitment of these four European countries to provide substantial military aid underscores the urgency of the situation and the recognition that Ukraine's fight is not just about its territorial integrity, but also about the security of the entire European continent. With the stakes higher than ever, the actions taken by these nations could play a pivotal role in shaping the future of security in Europe and beyond. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.